evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Is anybody up? Is anybody awake? Is anybody awake? Is anybody still up? Well, I am. I probably shouldn't be at this point, but I'm here. And it's been a really productive day. How about for you? Has it been a very productive day? Have the things that you've wanted to happen happened your way today? Were you able yet to just kind of pause, release, and kind of just kind of let it go? Have you been able to do that yet? If not, it's okay. There is still, well, on my time zone, we still got a few hours before it hits midnight. It's 9 o'clock, 9:11 now. So we have until what, 9:11, 10:11, 11:11, and then the minutes between that time, and then we're there. We're there. It's nighttime. A lot of you may say, well, it's nighttime already. I'm already in the bed. Well, if you are, and you're listening to this in a nice comfy zone, or maybe you're going to be listening this. Oh, I've done a lot of talking today. I've done more talking today than I've done in a while. And a lot of reading today. I've done a lot of reading today. Oh, I should have used Speakify. When you heard about Speakify, Speakify is a really fabulous software that reads to you. So it saves your eyes. Whereas if you're doing a lot of reading, your eyes aren't really being saved, right? Because you're focusing and you're doing a lot of reading. But with Speechify, it reads to you. And I probably should have gone for that today. But I was on a secure system and it wasn't something I was able to download. But it's probably something I'm going to think about tomorrow. But let me introduce myself because I've been rude. To those of you who don't know me, my name's Lizzie Morris. I'm your Next Best Move coach. What do I mean by that? I mean about helping you find that next best move for yourself, whether it be through reflection, whether it be through you finding kind of your perfect balance. And your perfect balance might not be somebody else's perfect balance, right? Because you've got to find kind of the balance that works for you at where you are at this point in your life. And then for others, the next best move is corporately strategic. And when it comes to corporate strategy, that's in my wheelhouse and something that I spend a lot of time doing. But the more and more that I've been in that space over the years, I've realized it has a habit of making you believe within yourself you're no longer human. And then you attempt to be something else. And the cost to yourself of being something else is really costly. And a lot of people have figured this out, right? So if you notice today, you'll hear about burnout coaches. Burnout coaches help people deal with burnout. Well, come we even get to the burnout? We get to the burnout because we dive so deep into achieving and taking on the persona of professionalism. We do so at the cost of our own personal harmony and our own sense of flow and peace. And then we still have life happening while we're trying to allow organizations to have the life that they want. But organizations are only as good as the humans who are in the organization. So if you got a bunch of humans in your organization who aren't doing too good, who aren't feeling too good, who are dealing with a lot of personal stuff at the same time, it's not good for an organization. It's not good for productivity, and it's definitely not any good for innovation. So it's things you've got to think about. But that's a corporation. Now, a corporation's awesome and it's fabulous. And if you work for a corporation, you're on their healthcare, they help you pay your bills and sustain your lifestyle. But if something happens to that corporation, then what happens to you? And this is why it's important to be caring for yourself on a regular basis and finding the purpose for you. So regardless of what happens around you, you're still good. And you might not be good financially, but you're good in here. And if you're good in here, you have what it takes to be able to get you the next leg of the way. But if you're not good in here, it's hard to attempt to do anything else when here is not working right. And when I'm tapping my chest and saying here, I'm talking about your internal soul, that part that your well-being and mental comes out of, that part, that core of you, your soul, your innermost being. That's why when you think about Beyonce's song, and I have to say, I'm so sorry, Beyonce, I didn't know it was Beyonce's song because I just kept hearing, you won't break my soul, you won't break my soul. I had no idea. Beyonce actually, please don't comment at me. I didn't know. But I loved those lyrics. I thought they were really empowering. And just kind of that thing to say, hey, hold on. Protect. Maya Angelou always said that there's a special part inside of yourself you have to hold sacred, and you've got to protect it, you've got to keep it, because that little part of you belongs to you and your God. That little part, and you got to keep it sacred. It's a place you can go in and hide and regroup, that little special place in yourself. So when we reflect, and kind of brought us here to this platform, it's really about reminding you to find that spot, reminding you to find the time, not just the spot, but find the time. Find the time, make the time for that reflection. Now, I'll hold my hand up. I'll hold both hands up. I'm not always the best at that. And my reflection time for me sometimes is not in the morning. It's not nighttime. Because a lot of times at nighttime, I tend to be very heavy into work. Like, so right now I'm in my office, right? And I realized I was thirsty, but I still haven't gone downstairs and got myself a drink, right? And I have a fridge in my office, but I don't have any water in it at the moment. But I'm like, I'm kind of thirsty. And if I'm kind of thirsty, I really should be probably having something to drink. But I was so into doing what I was doing, I didn't want to stop. And I was in a zone. And I'm typically in a zone late at night. But often my best reflections happen in the morning, early in the morning though. So, like between 2 and 4 a.m. And for many of you, you're like, morning? That's not morning, that's nighttime. Well, officially it's morning because it's after midnight. So it is actually morning. It's just early morning. But I tend to do my reflections then because it's quiet. I'm quiet here. And if there's anybody in the house, they'll be fast asleep, so they'll be quiet, right? So my son tends to normally kind of come back about that point, and he's out cold. And there's times he's come back and he said to me, Mom, you should go to bed. You should be sleeping. I'm like, no, I'm awake right now. And I'm just doing my thing. I'm being still. My innovations come to me. My ideas come to me at those early hours of the morning. And I'll share with you an epiphany I had today that I had actually shared live on Instagram and TikTok, which I've never done the both of those together. So that was something new. And in that reflection, I realized when I looked at where I was in life, and I thought about myself, and I thought about my journey to here, the journey to where I am at this point in life, I realized that I hadn't given myself permission to not care about what people thought or what people felt or what people said about me. 3 things: what they thought, what they felt, and what they said about me. I hadn't given myself permission for that. So I just been concerned. And when I looked deeper, so I did a really deep reflection, I realized a lot of the things I haven't done, even though I felt to do them, I was held back by those 3 things. So a lot of times in my head, I said, well, I just don't have the confidence to do that. I was saying these things, but it wasn't that. It was, in fact, the root was those 3 things, which meant I was in a cycle of caring about the opinions of others over the purpose of my life. That was a real like for me. And I thought, oh my goodness, really? That's what I've been doing all these years. And so the fears, all of those things, all the things I said I couldn't, oh, I can't do that, oh, it's so uncomfortable. The truth was, it wasn't uncomfortable. I just didn't want the rejection. Now, some people aren't necessarily very self-aware, but I've spent a lot of time and a lot of money to become self-aware over the years. So I knew I had rejection issues. I knew about that. And I knew where they came from. I knew where they stemmed from. I kind of knew how to manage them. At least I thought I did. But I hadn't seen these three things. And it was these three things that had been feeding rejection. So they were hiding way deep under the rejection. But I wouldn't have got that epiphany if I hadn't taken the time out this morning just to kind of reflect. Really reflect on where I was and where I want to be, and where I see myself, and what I see myself needing to achieve before I can say, okay, now it's on you, tag, you know? And maybe for some of you, you haven't got to the point where you've seen some of your dreams yet. And some things aren't real clear to you. You can't see that path real clear. But all of us have a path. All of us have something that we are destined to do. Our reason for being. Is that a bit too heavy for this time of night? Reason for being, Lizzie? My reason for being right now is my head on my pillow and I just want to go to sleep. But yeah, that reason for being. I reflect on that a lot. So I've spent a lot of time reflecting on that. I've gone on retreats around that thought, just gone away to just delve into that thought of why am I here? What's my purpose? What should I be doing? And I see my past when I look at me, I see all of them colliding back to the same main theme. So when I look, a theme keeps emerging over and over again. For me, the theme is change. What's your theme? What's the theme when you pull back and you look at your life? What is the theme that keeps emerging for you? What theme? Everything that you've gone through, be good, bad, indifferent. What's the central theme around it? Have you seen your theme? Have you spotted it? There's a theme. I guarantee if you were to call me and I were to do a session with you, a coaching session, we'd find the theme. We would find the theme around your life. And it would allow you to understand, have you recognized that theme? Do you know that theme exists? What are you doing about that theme? Do you want to engage with the theme? Or do you want to say, oh, no, I don't want that theme. Don't want to have anything to do with it. I'd rather this theme over here. It's not that my life has been going around this theme, but that's the theme I want my life to go around now. You may decide that. But see, you don't even get to make that decision if you're not conscious of the theme that you're currently existing around and merging with. And again, reflection is good for that. So sometimes when it comes to reflection, there is a necessity to have a guided reflection session. There's a necessity to find you a coach, a mentor who can help you reflect. Even a consultant can bring in reflections for you and techniques to help you reflect. But you might need one of those three things. If I ask you the question, what is the central theme of your life that's been emerging for you maybe over the past 10 to 15 years? If you haven't got an answer for that, it's probably a signal, no, you need a coaching session. You spend some time with somebody for a little while, an hour or two, and reflect in an environment that is safe and sacred. And why do I say safe and sacred? Because if you just go pick a friend will want to give you safety, but they're your friend. So it's hard for that to become sacred. And the reason why is because a lot of times it's very hard for your friends to be neutral. Whereas a coach is neutral. They're a neutral space for you. So they can create a sacred space because they have no personal investment in wanting you to go one way or the other. They're neutral. So with a coach, you can create sacred space that's just for you, that's just yours, that has nothing else in it but you. And it's all about you. Just all about you. And allows you to really dig into the things that are most important to you and find your central themes. So today I went on a little bit of a bandwagon, but out of it came some amazing things. And some new affirmations came out of it. And I always love when that happens, when boom, here emerges a new affirmation out of this that I can share and I can use, and we can all get a benefit out of it. And one of those affirmations, let me bring it up. I was so glad I actually recorded it today. Was what is coming out of me next is amazing. I am amazing. What is coming out of me next is amazing. I am amazing. What if you added that to your reflections? What is coming out of me next is amazing. I am amazing. And then what came with that was, I'm thankful for it. I'm grateful for it. I receive it. I embrace it. And it is so. What's coming out of me next is amazing. I am amazing. I'm grateful and thankful for it. And I receive it. And I embrace it. And I believe it is so. Very simple. Very powerful. And sometimes the most powerful affirmations are around the simplest of concepts. Simplest of concepts. But how does it feel when you say, what's coming out of me next is amazing? Do you feel a bit? And how does it feel when you say, I'm amazing? How does that feel for you? Does that feel good? Does it feel a bit dodgy? I don't know about all that. Is that dodgy for you? If it's dodgy for you, why is it dodgy? What's going on in your thoughts when you say that? What feelings are coming up for you? Let's reflect on that for a minute. When you pronounce yourself as being amazing, I am amazing. What's the initial that happens for you? What's that initial feeling that comes up for you? And if that initial feeling is an excitement of like, oh, yes, that's true. Oh, I am. If that isn't the feeling that you get, instead you get, I don't think I should be saying that. Mm-hmm. If you're getting the dodginess, then again, it's calling out. You need to do some deeper reflection. Don't just let that slide. Reflect on it. Why can you not pronounce yourself as something amazing? When you look in the mirror, can you say to yourself that you're beautiful? I am beautiful. I'm beautiful. I'm gorgeous. Can you say that to yourself without feeling dodgy? These are some of the things to reflect on. Understand why that's difficult. How long has that been difficult? Has that always been difficult? When you go back in your memory, can you always see that when you stood in front of the mirror, you were never able to say to yourself that you were beautiful? When you saw mirrors, did you kind of shun away from them? Why? What was said to you, or what were you saying to yourself about you that made that difficult? Now it's time to stop the cycle of tear down and begin the cycle of build-up. Let me say that again. Now is time to stop the cycle of tear down and begin the cycle of build up. And it might not be somebody else who's going to come and build you up. So then you've got to build up yourself. And you build up yourself by thinking good things about yourself and saying good things to yourself about yourself. Yes. This is the things we've got to do. And when a day goes by and you're closing out your day, or you're beginning your day, and you don't begin your day with affirming anything great about yourself, and you don't end your day without finding something grateful and fabulous about yourself, what happens in between that might not be positive, it then, instead of it meeting a resistance from you of, oh, no. I'm a very intelligent and articulate woman. Instead of having that to think and say to yourself about yourself, you think other things. You take on the circumstantial voices that are around you, the circumstance that are puppeting people, and you allow the puppets of circumstance to begin to craft an image of you for you. No. Oh, no. No, we're not doing that anymore. No. Why should we allow that? There's no benefit to that. There's no blessing, there's no upliftment. It's not amazing. So it doesn't fit into our construct. It deserves no space on our stage. Our stage, the stage of our lives, deserves encouragement, uplifting, hope, peace. And when circumstances show up with their little puppeteers, we simply throw tomatoes at them and go, no, not on my stage. Back it up. Circumstances will always come because time is here. And on time's stage will be circumstances, but every circumstance that emerges for you has to start to hit a resistance, and a resistance coming from you, because you know who you are, you know what you are, and you've built yourself up from the inside by saying great things to yourself about yourself, and you've done your reflections and you're working on growing you. So you know the areas that you got to build a little bit more, those areas that need some more tender care. They need nurturing so that they can grow like other areas of you have grown. I was having a conversation today with somebody I'd mentored, and we were talking about a slogan from our industry. And we say failure is feedback. And then later on this afternoon, when I thought about it, I said, favor is unsolicited feedback. And that's why it can be so difficult to see it as feedback. But it's unsolicited, but it's going to give it to you anyway. But the key thing is to realize what we call failure has a purpose, has an assignment, and it has a positioning, and it comes with placement. So it has a position, and its position is supposed to place you. And the place it's supposed to place you is in your future power. Yeah, that's what it's supposed to do. Place you in your future power. And by placing you in your future power, you are able to fulfill your emerging purpose. But if you don't take the time to reflect, to gather that data from those circumstances, from the things you've gone through, from all that, and you don't mine it as I say, the gems and the diamonds and clean them off, you miss out on what is possible. So you don't know something is possible until the impossible emerges and says, no. And then you're like, well, really? Why not? What if? Maybe. Let's do it. Right? You gotta go through those steps. But it needs to be birthed out of you. And the time of reflection is the vehicle that you gift yourself to allow yourself to do that discovery. So whenever you watch this, whenever it comes across your feed, agree with me to gift yourself the time and space for reflection so you can mine and uncover your purpose and find the themes that are emerging in your life so you can decide if that theme is a theme you want to keep or you want to draft a new theme. But to be able to do that, you got to reflect. Got to take some time out. You got to make that pause. Without the pause, you don't get to craft your response. And you don't get to build your resistance that is necessary. Because that's got to come from the inside of you. So as I close out for the evening, and heads up, I'm going to be adjusting the timing for the reflection show. And I will bring in Instagram and TikTok next time round. I just got to make some space on the desk and pop up the things for them. Because I think all of us, and I'm coming back to something I said earlier, all of us have a reason for being. And I'm determined. I made my mind up this morning, in the early hours of this morning, to do what I feel in my spirit, the core of me, just to kind of do it. Go for it. I've lived a long life so far, and longer than I thought I would have, due to things I've gone through and illnesses I had and accidents. I've been in major car accidents that I've been in over my lifespan. And battles that I've had with despair and despondency. And times when I lost hope. Wasn't always sure that I would have got to this particular age. And now that I'm staring down another big age milestone, I figure this is the point in which I go, oh, well, since I'm still here, you know what? Let's do this. Because I'm still here. You're still here. Amidst all the things that attempted to prevent you from being here, you're here. So let's do this. Let's make our next best move. And in making our next best move, let's become bridges for others that allows them to make their next best move faster than we were able to make our move. Because they can take the wisdom and the knowledge and the experiences that we've had. We can share it with them and help them to be better, faster. Because it's all about speed, right? It's all about how quick can we get there? Why should you have to languish and take forever to get there when we've studied the paths and now we've become bridges? And I remember when the concept of being a bridge first emerged to me many years ago. And when I thought about it, I was like, oh, I don't know if I like that. Don't know. Bridge means people can walk on me. So I could think of it. I was seeing high-heeled stiletto shoes. And they're pressing it. Ow, ow. Do you ever remember when you'd be sitting down in an event and somebody would just kind of have a high heel shoe that they weren't very well balanced in, and then they would step on your toes and you'd be like, right? And I thought about, oh, if I'm a bridge, there's going to be lots of walking over me, isn't there? Don't know if I want people to be walking all over me all the time. It's not necessarily a great feeling, right? It isn't. Let's be honest, it's not necessarily a great feeling, but bridges have endurance. They got real stability, which is why they can be a bridge, right? And some of the things we have gone through in our life has made us very sturdy in certain areas. So we can bridge people for those areas. Now, everybody doesn't always want to go over the bridge, right? A lot of times people want to find another way. But then detours happen, and the detour sends them to the bridge. So I have stilled myself to the thought now. Now it doesn't go to me. When I think about being a bridge, I'm willing to be a bridge because I want somebody to be able to get to their destination. The point at which destiny is waiting for them to arrive at, to be effective, to do their mission. So I'm okay with being the bridge. I'm okay with sharing the pains that I've gone through because, see, I've gone through them. They're part of the past now. So I can talk about them without sting because they're in the past. And I'm no longer anchored to them. See, when you're still anchored to your pain, it doesn't matter when you talk about it. It doesn't matter how many years since it has happened. That thing's still fresh because you're still anchored to it. But when you allow your pain to be part of your past, then your present can use it as a launch pad for your purpose and your platform. But it can't be anchored to it. So it's worth taking the time and doing whatever you've got to do to be able to get through your pain. Because you got to get through it before you get past it. Let me say that again. You've got to get through your pain before you can get past it. And sometimes the going through it is not that nice. But it's worth it. So worth it. So allow yourself the time it takes to go through whatever you've got to go through. And while you're going through, reflect. Take the moments of reflection. Mine all those situations. Mine all those conversations. Mine all those experiences. Find your gems. And then formulate your next best move. So the gift of reflection is something we must continually give ourselves so that we are going to be able to prepare ourselves for our tomorrows so that we can approach them a lot better than we would have if we weren't prepared. Think about when you go on a vacation and you don't prepare for the vacation and you just throw everything in the bag at the last minute. I've been guilty of that too. And then you get there and you're like, oh, I wish I had this. Oh, I don't have this. Oh, I got to go buy this. Oh, I got to go buy this. And then you cost yourself what? So much more money that you didn't have to cost yourself had you given yourself the time to prepare. Reflections allow you to prepare for your tomorrows. Today. So now, serious closeout. All right. I am grateful and thankful that you begin to embrace the power of reflection for your life. I'm grateful and thankful reflection becomes part of your everyday habits. Something you always gift yourself with, something you're always doing. I'm grateful that every time you take time out to reflect, you mine gems that are so precious and so valuable, they become stars in the crown of your life experiences. I'm grateful and thankful that you begin to heal as you walk through your pain, and that your pain shows you your purpose and provides you your platform. I am grateful that around you comes the tools you need, the people you need to assist you to find the themes that are attached to the purpose of your being. I'm grateful and thankful that laughter becomes part of your everyday journey and peace becomes part of your flow. I'm grateful that love is always around you, in friends, in community, in close ones to your heart. I'm grateful that as you walk, you become grateful and thankful in everything you do. And your life emerges and becomes brighter with every passing day. For this, I am so grateful and thankful that that is your story. That is your everyday life. Have a wonderful evening and a fabulous tomorrow. Take care.